What is going on, everybody? It's Wes from Daddoesadventure, and you are on another Monday in Review, and today we are talking about bear containers, bear-resistant food storage, which containers that I use, and how many days you can stay out with your particular container. So without further ado, let's get into this week's Monday in Review. When we're not hiking some mountain or swimming in some alpine lake, or taking my 3 kids on an awesome adventure, we're bringing you a review about camping, backpacking, overland, and camera gear. So if you've done any backpacking recently, you've probably heard that some of the old methods of making your food or toiletries bear resistant are not being allowed anymore, especially in the eastern Sierras, in national parks. The areas where I backpack, or myself and my kids backpack most of the summer, spring, or fall require bear canisters. So we've moved that direction, and today I want to talk about the 2 bear canisters that I've selected and see if those options are right for you and give you some information so hopefully you can pick the best bear resistant canister for your specific needs. So how many of these and all my snacks can I fit in these bulky canisters? And I gotta say, for bulky and what it is, I think Bear Vault's done a really good job keeping the weight down on these particular products. So the first product that I use is the 425, and it's newer. They didn't used to have a size that fit the 1 to 2, possibly 3 night range, and that's exactly what I use that size for. That is the bulk of my trips. However, if I'm doing a really long trip, 5 days, 7 days, maybe even 10 days, I do have the BV500. Now the BV500 also makes for a good stool, just as a side note, but it is rather large. So for the longest time, probably upwards of 4 or 5 years, I was using the BV500 for shorter trips. And when they came out with the 425 for 1 to 2 days, it was a perfect sweet spot for me. I can use the 500 for through hikes and the 425 for the overnight. Now, with that being said, let's answer a really important question. Do bear containers work? So in Bear Vault's specific instance, on their website, they show their testing process and procedure. And it's really interesting because they actually used bears to test their product, which I couldn't think of a better way to test a Bear Vault. With that being said, I also look for instances in which folks encountered bears and their food and toiletries were in a Bear Vault and see what happened. And in every instance, the Bear Vault held up that I could find, and I'm sure there's some outliers out there, but over and over and over again, most folks just had to wait it out or walk away as the bear attempted to snag their food. Hopefully it was out of their pack, but these things really do work. So my only complaint is something that's not Bear Vault's fault. It's my Dr. Seuss moment for the night, but the nature of what it is just requires it to be bulky. But with that being said, I feel like they've done an excellent job reducing the weight as best as humanly possible. And if I were looking to get into backpacking, knowing that there are a lot of bear resistant container requirements, I would start with the 425. If you're new, you're looking to do a night or 2 and just get your feet wet, it's relatively inexpensive. You can rent these at most outfitters if you really want to try before you buy, but this little guy is perfect to experiment with getting in the backcountry and really seeing if you like it. So thank you for coming along on another Monday in Review. Again, I am Wes. If this was of interest to you, I would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And we spend about 50 weeks in the backcountry a year, and we post most of our adventures on social media, and we'd love it if you followed along. So Daddoesadventure on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and we would love to have you join us on our next adventure. I hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for coming along.